Hello all. It's been a minute. Lots going on in my life. Very busy. Next week is my colonoscopy. Hopefully get some answers and get rid of this. My grandson turned 1. Can't believe it's a year already. And I met someone, and I always say I don't want to tell anybody because it's like it'll jinx it, and I don't know if that's what's happening here. Don't know. But I got a notification on Facebook. You know, the little heart had a notification thing, and for anybody that's been on Facebook dating, and said I matched with, and I'm like, matched? I'm not even on Facebook dating. So I went on, I'm like, oh, this is a guy I would have never in a million years clicked that I liked. So I don't know. I think I had thought I had taken a break, and I know POF, when you take a break now, it's only for so long, and then your your POF profile, reactivates, per se. And so I don't know if that's the case with Facebook, or I hit something. I don't know. So, but I thought I'd taken a break, and I hadn't gotten notifications in a really long time. So I turned around, and I was like, what the hell? It's been a minute. Let me see. I can always deactivate it again. So I updated my pictures and everything. And next thing you know, this guy said he liked me. Checked out his profile. It's like, wow, not bad. I liked what he had to say, all this. Okay. Tell me I'm not getting behind this dumb truck, because I'm really not going to be happy if I am. He doesn't have his blinker on, but that doesn't mean shit. Okay. So then we started talking, and then he's like, if you want to exchange, numbers, here's my number. And so I was like, sure, but I can't, till later. And the first 2 days, and he put, if you're just looking for a texting buddy, this guy just put his blinker on. Texting buddy, swipe left, because swipe right means, you're interested. Okay. I have not yawned all freaking day. It's weird. So then I was like, okay, so we chatted, and then we planned to meet. We talked, and he said, oh, can I call you the one night? And I was walking the dogs. Yeah. And he FaceTimed me. And my friend's like, I wouldn't have answered it. And I'm like, well, some guys want to make sure you're real, and some women insist on it. So, why isn't there an arrow? It's brand new traffic light. No arrow. It's ridiculous. So I'm like, oh, this girl's gonna get me killed. Bike ride just rode right in front of me. Oh, thank God I'm paying attention. So, I talked, and, via FaceTime, and he kept freezing because reception in my area sucks. So, okay. So then we talked a little more, and then, talked a couple times, and then we made a plan to meet on Saturday. And we were going to meet at Texas Roadhouse. Not my favorite place in the world, but okay. Then he said, he sends me this thing for a seafood festival. And it was actually the town I just moved from, and it's right next to the town that I grew up in, and chances of running into a lot of people I know. Plus, they were predicting rain. So I said to him, please don't be offended, but plus I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to spend the whole day with this guy at a festival if I don't like him, you know? So I said, please don't be offended, but, you know, my son could, the hell is that? My son might, you know, he lives in that town and he could attend that. That would be awkward. Also, you know, like I said to him, I grew up in the town, you know, whatever. So he's like, no, completely understand. So it's okay. So then we're back to Texas Roadhouse. Okay. Then he says to me, on Saturday, do you mind going to a place that I heard has really great wings? And I love wings. So, you know, because figure appetizer. And so I said, okay. So I said, not at all. So it was kind of like a small little dive bar restaurant place. And he didn't know that. And when, you know, we both got there at the same time, and I actually parked right behind him. And he texted me, I see you, because I told him what kind of car I had and stuff. So he's like, I'm sorry, I thought this was more like a restaurant with a bar in it, but I think this is more of a bar with some restaurant in it. He goes, we don't have to go in. And I was like, no, it's fine. We can go in. I'm actually gonna go get some Dunkin', some iced coffee. My throat is killing me all of a sudden. I don't know why. But so if you hear it, it's like a little raspy all of a sudden. So I was like, okay. So I was like, no, we can go in, it's fine. I was like, it's probably not crowded. It's probably more, you know, more of an intimate place, and I don't have to be shouting. And he's like, okay, you sure? Yeah, positive. Okay. So we did that, and it was nice. We sat, you know, at a high top bar, and he got wings, I got wings. He ordered potato skins, which he loves. You're gonna have to excuse me a minute. I have to order my coffee.
How can I help you?
Can I have a large iced decaf with almond milk and 2 pumps of mocha and very light ice, even if you have to put extra milk?
What else?
That's all. Thank you. I know I'm a pain in the ass the way I order mine. And this is mine once a week. So, because I can't have much coffee. Next week is colonoscopy, so maybe I could go back to at least iced coffee. Yeah, it's good though, not to have it all the time. So we had a really nice time talking, whatever. When the bill came, he, you know, whipped out the money, and I was like, do you need me to give you anything? And he goes, what? I go, you know, do you need any money towards the bill? And he goes, oh, I always love money. And I was like, okay, how much? He goes, no, don't be silly. So I like that. He was a gentleman, didn't want to take any money from me. Okay. So then we walked outside, and he gave me a hug and just like a little peck, which was nice first time. And then as we were leaving, the girl said goodbye, and he goes, great wings. And she goes, oh, I'm glad you liked them. He goes, oh yeah, we'll be back. So I'm like, okay, that's a positive. But then when we're outside, and he's like, oh, I had a nice time, text me when you get home. You know, but I found out, first date in like 5 years. So I was like, yikes. So COVID hit, he put on a lot of weight, over 300 pounds, took the weight, you know, had health issues from it, took the weight off, from walking, cutting out carbs and sugar, anything white.
How are you?
Okay.
Receipt?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
So he, you know, that was, oh, my eyes are itchy today, people. I've been wearing mascara. I've been wearing makeup, actually. Oh, I don't want to pull out. So, I gotta save my receipt because I couldn't scan my thing, but someone said you could go on and enter whatever the receipt number and get your points. But I don't know if that's true, but we will soon see. So, yeah, so that was... I'm gonna go after this car because there's no coming the other way. So, okay. So, when I got home, I said, I'm home. Thank you. I had a nice time. He said, oh, I did as well. That was it. Nothing. So, then he said to me, I'm trying to find my words. And I go, and I don't know what was transpired, but I forget prior. And I said that, oh yeah, I was trying to, he goes, it was my first date in a long time. I was really nervous if you couldn't tell. And I was like, no, I couldn't. And then I said to him, and then he said, I'm trying to find my words. And I said what I want to say. And I was like, then or now? And he goes, now. I said, I'm here. I said, go ahead and tell me. So finally he said, first of all, wow, you're so much prettier in person. Can I just say you're beautiful? So that was nice to hear. And he said, I had a really nice time. The hug was great, the kiss. And he said, I wanted to extend the date, but I didn't know how you felt. And I was so nervous, I didn't know what to say or how to say it. And he goes, then when I went to kiss you goodbye, I really wanted to kiss you more, but I didn't, want to overdo it and overstep my bounds. So I thought it was nice, and he was being very open and honest, and which is not how some guys are. And then he turned around and said to me, I think it went really well, and I'd like to continue seeing you. So I said, I think it went well too. Absolutely. So Sunday he wanted to do something, and I was babysitting. So I said, I'm babysitting, and probably till around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm not sure. And he's like, well, I don't want to rush you, once your son gets home, but maybe we can meet for a walk and some ice cream later. So I said, sure, no problem. Said that would be nice. Okay. So then about 1 o'clock, I think it was, he texted me and he said, the guys want to go, at first he said, I'm going to go hit some balls with the guys. And he likes to play golf. And so then he turned around and at like 1 o'clock, he said, the guys want to play, 18 rounds. Is that okay? Do you mind if I do that? And I'm thinking, the hell, we had one date. Like, he doesn't need my friggin' permission. So I was like, that is fine. You don't need to ask me if it's okay. He's like, well, we had tentative plans to meet, and I don't know if that'll happen now. And I was like, listen, I do not want you to not do something that, especially something you enjoy or you're used to doing before you met me, for tentative plans with me, because they might not happen. I was like, and I would never sit around and miss an opportunity if you and I had tentative plans, and you don't need to ask my permission. So, I mean, if we were in longer of a relationship, then maybe. I didn't say that to him, but I'm thinking to myself. So he said, oh, thanks. he goes, I appreciate that. So then we didn't end up meeting up because of him with him playing, golf. Then he was tired. He has a bum knee, which he's getting a knee replacement, I believe, in the fall. He's waiting till after the summer so he can play golf until then, I think. So then he says to me that, we're talking during the week and everything, and we made plans to go out again, and we went Saturday night. Where did we go? I don't know. I don't remember. Isn't that funny? Oh, we met at this place, which is kind of a dive bar. Not a fan of it. I was there once to hear a band, and I was just like, oh God, no. And I was like, hope he doesn't sit his butt at a bar every day. So, okay. He doesn't. He goes there on Sundays during football season. He was actually making fun of the guys that were sitting there and have been probably sitting there all day and probably come in there all the time and just sit there and do nothing and just drink. He doesn't drink during the week, and this week he's on call, so he doesn't drink, but he likes to drink on the weekends, but not a lot. And he had 2 when we went out. So I felt comfortable enough to ask him. My boyfriend's band was playing on Sunday. Felt comfortable enough to ask him to go on Sunday. And he's like, ooh, I got an invite and I'm going to meet the friends. And shortly after I invited him, we were having a conversation. My sister's like, are you going tomorrow? Because I had shared it on my Facebook, and I'm like, yes. She goes, oh, I'm gonna go. I'm like, shit. And actually Saturday, no, that was not this past Saturday before, never mind. So yeah, so I actually said, well, I met someone, we've gone out a few times, and I invited him to come too. So she's like, oh, okay, no problem. I was like, no one knows, not too many people know. My kids don't know. So she's like, oh, okay, no worries. So turns out she didn't end up going because she broke out in poison ivy, like really bad. And it was blistered and oozing and gross. So, okay. So then she turned around, and so then I discovered we are on different political sides. And that doesn't bother me so much, except I wanted to know if he agreed with everything. Like, what his views were on different subjects, like same-sex marriages, transgender people, abortion, just many different issues. And we're on the same page, thank goodness, as far as that. And so that was good. And so cleared that air. So Sunday he did come, and my friend was a little too drunk. What is this person doing? Light is green, lady. So she must be looking at this light, the next one that's red. So my friend had a little too much to drink, was a little very flirtatious, but that's how she is. And he did not care too much for the way she was acting. And I said, well, normally she doesn't act that way. one-on-one or whatever. And normally when we go out, she doesn't act that way. But I said she is a little flirtatious, but it's just the way she is. And she asked us to go back, to her and her boyfriend's place. And he took that so wrong. So wrong. He thought like she wanted a foursome. And I'm like, oh God, no. Even if she did, that was not happening because I'm not into that. So he didn't know how to take it. We said, oh, you two want to come back? And like, she was just so, like, had way too much to drink. She's like, oh, hello. You want to go back to art. And it was just the way she was being. And what is this guy doing? He went to go, slammed on his brakes, slammed on his brakes, and then just pulled out in front of me. Oh my God, people are idiots. So I was like, okay. So then, we left the band thing and we went and had dinner, which was nice, the two of us. And it was nice, even though we were there with like friends of mine. It was nice then to have one-on-one time. And like I said, we had a great conversation. Then we planned on meeting. Saturday he was going to cook for me at his sister's, and then his sister's plans changed. So he's like, let's go out to dinner. We went to dinner to this really nice place called The Goat, and it was great. He was like so impressed with the place because he's like, oh, where? And I was like, there's this place I know, The Goat, and it's really nice. And he actually likes the area of where like I used to live before I moved to where I am now. So he's like, oh, I really like this area. I'm not really a shore guy because he's, as we say, over the bridge north. And I was like, oh, you better become a shore guy because I like the shore. But he's like, oh, for you, I'll go, And so, okay. And I can't really see. There's cars. And do I have my own lane here? Oh, I think I do. Crap, I didn't realize that. Being an idiot. Thank God no someone just pulled behind me now. So, dinner was great. He wanted to take a walk along the beach. They have boards. So, along the boards on the beach. Oh, sorry. First time I'm yawning. I don't know why. I am. But I am. So, the American Legion that we went to was right there. And he wanted to go, he had gotten a t-shirt. He wanted to see if they had a sweatshirt, a hoodie. So we, because it was a little misty, so we went inside. We were just going to have like a drink and, I don't even think a drink at that point. We were just going to go in there and see, and they didn't. And then he's like, let's just have a drink. And, so I told the girl water. He had a beer. And he only had like 1.5 at dinner. I'm like, okay. And listen, some people can drink and it's fine, but other people, it's like, nope. So, then again, we got really into a deep conversation, and it was an amazing conversation. And then we went back to my place, and he admitted to me it was like 5 years since he was with a woman. And he, and I was like, oh, wow. And he goes, oh, yeah. And he goes, please don't hold this against me, but I'm going to say something. He goes, yeah, honey. He goes, that's a whole lot of internet porn. It's like, oh, God. So then we're like, okay. And we went, and we got, in my bed, and I had my pajamas on. He had, t-shirt, and his boxer briefs, and he kind of dozed off. So I was like, are you kidding me? And so I was like, okay. So I could not fall asleep. And then he kind of woke up after like an hour or something. And, you know, we turned the other way. And then I was like, you know what? I'm ripping this Band-Aid off. So we did. And it was great. Very great. And so afterwards, he was having trouble breathing. Which my friend's like, oh my God, give the guy, poor guy, a heart attack. I was like, well, 5 years. I don't know what to tell you for him. And because I said to him, do you want some water? He goes, give me a minute. Like, just like that. Give me a minute. And he's like, trying to catch his breath. So then I gave him like, 4 minutes at least. And I was like, are you okay? And he goes, just, you know, he could breathe, he could talk easier then. He's like, just catching my breath. Just like that, catching my breath. And I'm like, oh my God, he's still catching his breath. Holy crap. So I'm like, please don't have a heart attack, because he does take blood pressure medication. So I'm like, don't stroke, don't have a heart attack. And so I joked about it. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, you'd call my sister, this is, you know, the girl that was, he referred to me as his friend. He's like, oh, this is your brother's friend, and we're at the hospital. How did that happen? Well, so we were joking. And then he got up the next morning, and he had plans. So a tradition thing, going to his cousins, and his cousin's wife and his sister cooks for them. And so I was like, okay. And then he's on call. So today's Wednesday, and he hasn't been so in touch. Monday, yes. Yesterday, almost didn't hear from him. Today, have not heard a word from him. And guess what? He was on Facebook, because we became Facebook friends. And I figure I can always just block him, unfriend him, whatever. So I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I seen that he was on like an hour ago. And it's usually, good morning, honey, have a great day. 7 o'clock in the morning. I have to say that. Yesterday too. 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, good morning, have a great day. And I know he's on call, and he said work's been crazy, whatever. I get it. And then last night I heard from him. But I figured today, I didn't get a good morning, whatever. So I don't know, somewhere around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was like, oh, I'll send him. So I got a little GIF that said, have a wonderful day. And I also, oh crap, we're getting over. I also, you know, said good morning with that. So, you know, and nothing. So, okay. Then it was like an hour or whatever. And then it was 23 minutes since he, you know, was on, because they put it on your profile picture, which I did not know. So I'm like, okay. Then I had to go pick up a check, one of the Board of Eds for my job. And guess what? 28 minutes ago. So I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So that's 3 times you've been on freaking Facebook, and you have not even answered my thing. So, and then the guy that I was trying to forget, okay, he canceled on me for dinner last Wednesday or the Wednesday before. I don't remember. Whatever Wednesday. 2 Wednesdays ago, maybe. And I was pissed. But I just played it off. I said, okay, no worries. And I just said, okay. So then, nothing. And then finally, when he reached out to me, he said, I was like, so, you know, I didn't acknowledge whatever the fuck he was saying. And I was just like, so, what? Because he said his office was being torn apart, and he's dealing with a mess and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Okay. So I was like, okay. So it was like, after not hearing from him for like 5 days or whatever it was. And he said, oh, poop. And I go, poop, really? And he's like, yeah, LOL. And I was like, how the heck did that happen? Didn't answer me. Then Friday, he was like up my ass and whatever. And I didn't answer until Saturday. And then he's like, oh, plans? And I'm like, you? Question mark. And then he's like, I'll go to dinner with my dad tonight for Father's Day. Other than that, no real plans. You? So I was like, oh, going to dinner with a friend. So he calls me his friend. So, although he used the word girlfriend Saturday night. So he used the word friend. So I was like, I'm not lying. He's referring me as his friend. So, okay. So then he turns around and he's like, where? Didn't answer him. Like, you're not good. So then Sunday, I sent him Happy Father's Day, a little gif. That's it. Nothing like enjoy your day or anything, but just Happy Father's Day. Nothing from him. So I'm like, okay. Then nothing still from him. Not a thank you. Nothing. So screw him. And this other guy. Nothing. So you're all caught up now, and I'm almost back to my job. So that was perfect timing. But yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. So, I looked him up and, everything, and doesn't seem to have any red flags or whatever. But I might have to pay to do a background check. It's only a couple dollars, join and then you can cancel. But I will keep you all posted. I'm just about pulling into my job. So I will talk to y'all later. Great to talk to y'all again. Bye.